I had a good car.
Well, luckily.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I got in a head-on collision by, tell me where.
Nice coat.
Paradise.
You were one lucky guy. I can't believe you're still sitting here.
And the guy, I was in my lane, there was a witness. The guy just came across in a truck, both of us going about 60 head on.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going 60.
Whoa.
So he was breaking the speed.
They met.
That car protected me. I went into a zone where I could see everything as it was going on. It was the strangest thing in the world.
Oh my God.
I could even see the airbags as fast as they come out. I could see them coming out.
Good grief.
And that car just protected me like it's the craziest thing in the world.
Airbag.
Wow. Okay.
That's what
We're glad you- Gonna go ahead and call the monthly board meeting. Kern Valley Healthcare District. First item on the agenda is the approval of today's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
My second part, second by Director Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Director Clark is going to lead us in the flag salute, followed by the invocation by Director Elconin.
Y'all please stand. Place your hand on your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guys, would you be standing with me? Dear Lord, I would like to come before you and ask that you continue to lead us as board members, Lord, better serve our community. I want to thank you for the employees that work here and for the staff, you know, as the employees, that the good works that they do and they help provide for the community also. I want to thank you for the safety of G as he survived his car accident, Lord. And I just ask that you continue to lead us and guide us as good stewards of your funds that have been given to this hospital for the community. I ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, the mission statement is on the agenda for those that want to read it. Item C is the public comment portion of the meeting. Is there any public comment or once, twice? Okay. Item D is the consent agenda. These are routine and uncontroversial items. Does any director want to pull anything off consent today?
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Yes.
I have questions on the chief nursing officer report. Just one or two questions, and then on the chief information officer report. So 3 and 4.
And for,
Just have questions on.
okay, items 3 and 4 on consent will go to items 8 and 9 under new business. Is there anything else that needs to be pulled from consent? Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda today?
So move.
That's besides those two items.
I'll second it.
Okay. Moved by Director Elliott, second by Director Parks, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, we'll move on to the CEO report. Mr. Loveridge, turn it over to you, sir.
The new pharmacy, the carpet is in. It looks beautiful right now. It looks a lot better, I think, since the carpet got put in. So next is the ceilings and a little bit more electrical work, but, right, what else?
And the cabinets.
And the cabinets, forgot those. But we are 115, we're saying now. What, right?
115.
January 15th,
This next year,
2026,
Oh,
yes.
cool.
27.
27, I need a little breathing room.
Maybe a little year extra. So that is looking good. We have a really big area in front right there. We're gonna have to use it for over the counter type stuff. So we need to figure out how we're gonna get that. Sue and I are looking at a secondary, it's called a secondary provider. That would be secondary wholesale provider, so we can get stuff cheaper. Because from Cardinal right now, when you buy over the counter stuff, they jack it up so much, there's no room for us to put any profit into it.
Correct.
We'll make them a lot of profit, won't make us anything. So we're trying to get at a cheaper price so we can compete with some of these other people. But I think that's a money back. It's almost as big as this, really. Half of this room probably,
Yeah, the lobby is like from here to there and twice this length.
Yeah.
Why don't you lease it to Vons? I'm serious.
What do you mean?
They are looking at putting in a drugstore just so they can sell that stuff too over there. And if they wanted to sell some of that stuff, they could lease the space. They could pay us to sell their stuff. They would have to control it. Do you follow me?
I hear.
We're not really our competitors. We're a drugstore. So at any rate, something to think about.
The SNF, we are continuing with the beautification of the SNF. We have people coming, you said next week, right, Bob?
They're actually here today, finishing the last patterns in the floor. The baseboard that was back ordered from the factory should be done this week, shipped from the factory. And by the time the holidays hit, we'll probably be installing it like the first week of January. The corner guards are here. I'm just trying to free up some manpower from retail and pharmacy to get the corner guards put on. And then the drawings for the cabinets behind the nursing station for a new hand wash sink and everything. The drawings are done. I made a few corrections on them. They sent them to me. I made a few corrections on Monday. They've added those corrections, so I should have those drawings shortly submitted to OSHPD so we can pull our little permit to remove that one where the refrigerator's failing, the sink's too small. It's shot. And so we'll pull it out, we'll put in new cabinets, new nice big refrigerator that will hold everything. But the anchorage of the cabinets to the walls is what drives having to pull it OSHPD permit.
Is that
Crazy.
like a 9-month process to get?
Oh, no, this is a very minor project. It'll be field reviewed.
Oh, okay.
And so we should have a permit in a few weeks.
Oh, great.
We are still trying to increase the census in there. We're at about 52 right now, and we've got about 3 online maybe to be coming in. We got Nick and Irina are going to go down to some of the hospitals in Bakersfield with the new brochures that we had printed up. Nick had print them up and try to recruit some people. We've also got billboards going up down there advertising this.
I did see one of the digital billboards.
The digital billboards, yeah. We've got what we're going to put in there, and we can change them out. They're easy to change. If we don't like the one we have, it's not reducing anything else, we can change it out in a day, right? Is that right, Nick?
Correct. We can change it up at any moment in time.
Please.
But we're also trying to figure out if we want to make them distinct to the area that they're representing, as far as ethnicity and demographics and things like that. We need to figure out if we can do something like that.
Would
I
that
don't
be a
know.
problem, John? Some of those damn people from Bakersfield will be coming up here.
A lot too.
Spend the money.
So that's on the SNP. That's where we are right now, but we are still trying to increase. I think once we get it all prettied up, I think we could have maybe an open house, some type of open house. I know we don't want to bring people too many because it's their home, but we need to show people, at least through pictures and things like that. We can do something like that, I think. I think pictures can tell. If we do it right, it'll tell a good story.
Pictures will tell the story.
Yeah.
The bus for activities. Who's in charge of the activities now? Or they've used the bus once,
Actually,
maybe once all year
Oh, we used it today and we used it last week.
for activities?
Yes.
Cool.
In fact, I had to train the staff on properly putting the restraints on the wheelchairs this morning.
So where did we take them to lunch?
Actually, no, we took them to the thrift store to let them go shopping.
Oh, cool. Good, good.
We also went to the Christmas parade.
Yes.
Oh, neat.
Okay, good. Thank you.
the CFO search, it's not going very well. We had one guy we thought we liked. We brought him up here. He didn't work well with the staff. He kind of started some things, some psychological things, and staff didn't like it.
Can I ask a question before, when we shared, how did we pay when we shared the check? Did Hatch pay him, or did we pay him, or did we both pay him?
Both
Wait.
needed.
But he became part-time here and took a pay cut to work on at both
Okay,
hospitals.
And he also worked at the menu for a little bit as well.
okay. So like, for example, like IT, if we split it and Carrie was working both places from here, is there an arrangement could be made with Bishop or something, or, okay, how would roughly, how would that take place?
Sure. So we've explored this before. It's, you have a joint powers agreement and you share people or you share services, you allocate the costs in the agreement. And, you know, with Chet, is he here 3 days a week?
It's at least,
Approximately.
yeah.
Yeah.
He spent his time, he was good.
And so, and then he was in Tehachapi 1 day a week, and I think Southern India 1 day. He worked remotely, but 1 day a week was spent on each of the others, and
Well,
that was not a JPA. He did that on his own.
we're a small hospital and everyone has should have a little extra time compared to the workload of a big hospital. So if we could take advantage, we need to take advantage of every buck. For every $2.41 we spend, and we don't have to discuss them, every employee a buck. Wrong.
You're right about the small hospital, big hospital, but the reporting requirements are just about the same. So the
Yeah, I know,
CFO's
but the
workload
time
is
of
not that much.
reporting is less. It is less activity.
John, would it be worth a few minutes time to reach out to, say, Bishop or Mammoth or something and see if that might be?
I've talked to Mammoth already and
Okay.
it's kind of far. I mean, we can do
Mammoth is
remotely,
far.
but we don't want somebody totally remotely. We want
Yeah.
somebody here, someone.
Right.
Okay, well,
I was gonna
it's
say-
some,
I want to talk to Ridgecrest. I really want to talk to, and I've got a call into him actually already.
something we should
That's
think
good.
about, Sharon.
Right. Well, I agree. We can do it.
Need to
We
cut.
can do it. I mean, I could supplement.
Russ, right? Right, Russ?
Again,
Southern India uses a CFO out of Wisconsin. But he does critical access hospitals.
The same one that they have, because he came to Catalina, a different one. He was from
John
Wisconsin
Trumbull?
also. I think that was him. He came to look at Athena when I was in Catalina. He got fired shortly after that for going to Athena, I think.
Did it?
Yeah.
So John, and then in Bear Valley, that would be a good combo, but they use Ovation.
I know. They've got, that's
But we need to keep an eye open.
Yeah,
We need to look every
right.
chance.
And we are, I'm going, trying to find, I like to not spend all the money on a full-time CFO if we don't have to.
Yeah.
But fortunately, in your job too, you're not as busy as you are with a Memorial or one of those. So we have time to do a good job and do it. And do it
Feel
right
like
as you are.
that, Gene.
Good
Just
job.
because the big hospital or small hospital, it's same reporting requirements,
Okay,
maybe more for a small hospital.
less numbers.
Less, no, it doesn't matter. The size of the numbers is still the same.
John,
But-
on the CFO position, if, and tell me if this is feasible, you were in the job, you know it. Is it something that somebody could do remotely from Wisconsin or New York or Missouri?
Yeah.
It
And
could,
change the job responsibilities, so they're not responsible for personnel in that division. Just do the CFO job.
Problem with somebody from another state is California regulations are so much different. Medical billing. and
Okay,
things
well,
like that.
LA, San Francisco then.
Yeah, no, we could. I mean, I could supplement the position too. I can help with that part of it too.
Right.
But that's one thing. That's what I'm planning on. That's why we don't need someone
Can
full
you
time.
legally do that?
But I would be a name, it wouldn't
That's
be a
part of
name.
the
Well, I wouldn't be called the CFO. I would just be giving him direction or her direction, not being the actual CFO.
And you
Because
seem
they
to
don't
be-
want, we don't want CEO and CFO. They want
Right,
separation of powers
right.
there.
You seem
Checks
to be
them out.
doing a good job doing both of them, plus staying on top of everything. You
Well,
don't look any better than you did when you came.
I was just thinking, since you are having such a hard time finding one, and and we're really remote. Maybe if we expand our thoughts on,
Yeah, I was thinking about that too for that.
What do you call it?
I don't want to give up yet, but
Okay.
let's figure,
All right.
sooner or later we're up, but really where's Amy? Is she here? Amy, Amy's the one that's doing most of the work,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Amy is working hard.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only concern that I had was the CFO before you was remote, didn't come here, drove the accounting department up a wall. Amy can attest to that because I was the board treasurer that year. And
And that's part of my thought.
I don't disagree with Ross. If you could have somebody that could do it remotely, but maybe come in like maybe 1 day a week that isn't based in California, that knows the accounting system, isn't gonna, try to.
And we should do it. I'm open to anything right now. I'm dealing with a bunch of different people. Like I've got a bunch of editors sending me emails all the time and phone calls but a lot of them are from out of state and California, like I said, is different.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody from California if possible.
So
I mention it remotely because my nephew is a CFO for a tech company
Yeah,
that's headquartered in New York. He lives in Boulder.
oh, really?
He,
He does it?
yeah, maybe we'll go into New York once a quarter. I mean, it's just
Right.
all
Right.
computer work at home.
The problem is he's related to you.
I just had a question for Heidi. Wasn't in the 1990s, and wasn't it Paul Failot who was kind of like functioned as the CFO and came in like a couple times a month but he did like the cost reports and the financials. Okay.
The CEO's kind of doing both of that.
Oh, we can't do anymore. Okay. I'm just thinking of different options to have outsource it to somebody else.
Yeah, we could go to a company too if we want to do that, but that's kind of last resort. It'll be more expensive for one thing,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
and not as much control and it's. We're not giving up yet. We'll find somebody.
All right.
Okay, as we talked about last time, we're thinking that Clinton is thinking of going back to CPSI from their current software program. And we have Carrie, Greg, and Miranda are going to Arizona next week to see a hospital that has CPSI as their clinic.
Let's talk about that. Have we talked about it already?
Been brought up many times, I think.
Then we'll talk offline.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about it. That's why I pulled it from the
Oh, okay.
consent
Oh,
agenda.
man,
So
mystery.
I don't know what your issue is, but
Want to talk about it now? We're talking about it after.
it's up
It's
to
on the
John.
consent.
That's good. We're there now, so we don't have to talk about it. I
Do we
mean,
need to do a action to take it off new business and just do it now or?
You already removed it from consent, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I'm
under
sorry.
reports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's under new business under reports. Yeah. As an action item.
So you're just receiving a filing. That's all you're doing.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if you do it, if you let Carrie go now or.
Let him go as in how? Like you're fired or what?
Sorry, Carrie. Let him talk now.
Oh, all right.
Ross's question is.
Okay. Go ahead, Director Elliott, if you want to bring it up
Thanks.
now.
Thanks,
That's
John. Really what my question was is, Terry, the way it's worded.
See if I worded
So you're going on this trip to determine if moving to TrueBridge is a viable option. And so I think it's always valuable to go see new software in a workplace. I don't have any heartburn at all over the trip. Who makes the decision? Is it a board decision? Is it your decision? Is it John's decision? Is it
I think it's a collective administrative decision.
just kind of a consensus?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
It'll end up saving us money in the long run also, and it'll brings us all together too. That's the main thing. We have too many different software packages now.
well, and that's why I'm glad Greg's here, because I have questions for you too. Obviously, you do a new software in an operation, everybody's got to relearn it. It's uncomfortable. You're going to lose, some time in doing that. And I just wonder what the resistance is. Is that it? Or is there like a quality of care issue that you're concerned about?
It's been in my neck.
Thanks.
So the very first EHR that this hospital had was in the clinic. We've had EMD at our current EHR for probably, I want to say 17 years. And it's been a good system. We're used to it. We're used to little bugs and that kind of thing. As we've developed new electronic health records and processes have changed, billing is not done through EMD. So it's a lot of duplicate work. There's redundancy in our processes. It's hard for John to run reports at the end of the year or Amy to do her cost reporting. So there's always things that we have to.
Will TrueBridge solve that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It'll save one step.
It should,
Okay.
because it's going to be the same system
Right.
that they're doing all these reports in now. All that stuff is just going to
The
be,
data will all be there, just have to run a separate report, maybe.
or probably, yeah,
Okay,
probably not even. I mean, you have to differentiate between the clinic, but it's all still the same system.
okay.
will it cost more money?
It probably will not. We've run some numbers. Oh gosh, I didn't know I was going to get asked that question, but
It's gonna be close to a wash.
Yeah, it'll be sort of close to a wash. It definitely is a cost savings. And then there's some other elements that might bring in more cost savings. So for instance, they use a faxing software up there that's quite expensive per month to get all this stuff out, and that's bundled in with this, that'll save a few $100 a month. You get stuff like patient portal that we don't really have up there right now. So patient portal is live in TrueBridge right now, but a lot of that information isn't really great because, you know, all the documentation is being done in a different system. So there's benefit to that. There's some new technology too for mobile check-in, mobile, you know, schedule your own appointments, different patient benefiting pieces of the software that aren't there now. Greg's big holdup is documentation, and that's kind of the big thing we want to see. One of the big things we want to see is actual clinicians using the system to document, and, you know, other MAs and stuff using that to make sure that that's going to be not hindering the amount of patients we see per day.
Right. And that's what you're doing now, but in that other system?
Yeah, so what Kerry was talking about with the different functionality, yeah, there's maybe cost savings in there, but the biggest cost savings that we would have would be from staffing, because we have so much redundant work that's being done, and it's very, very difficult. But we're very cautious about, I'm apprehensive about changing because it's something I'm used to, and I want to keep what I'm used to.
You're comfortable with it, it's still
I
working.
understand that we've had lots of problems down the road, but I want something that's going to work well. We did look at the system once a few years ago, and it wasn't where it needs to be. But, you know, I want to look at, you know, it's not my decision, you know, to make, but I want to look to see what a similar facility to ours is using. If we see that they're using it successfully, then there's no reason that we can't be successful.
Okay.
Can I ask a good question? Gary, can I ask, or Greg? I'm not really bitching or complaining, but I am.
Okay.
I went to get a blood test.
Okay.
They want all my insurance information, my driver's license, everything, right?
Okay.
Come back the next day, same person that knows me had to have the same thing. Every time you go up to that window, they want insurance information, every time. Not at the first of the year, whatever. That's a bad system.
Well, it's to make sure
It's
that we
not
got the right
user-friendly,
information, because from month to month, things change sometimes. Not your driver's license, but your
Right.
insurance good.
But it's not user friendly. You're driving people away. How much would you actually lose? How many people really change in the middle of a year? So you're being over, you're a little wacko.
You'll find that anywhere, Gene.
Well, no,
Every hospital,
no.
every hospital asks for it
They
every
have blood
time.
tests all over and things all over the place. First of the year, they ask you for your information. The rest of the year, they don't ask you. They will ask you, has it changed? That's fine.
So that particular thing's an internal process, whether,
That's
whatever
what I'm
system we
getting
have,
at.
you know, the process is.
What I'm getting at is, would it help your new system with TrueBridge? Would that be part of that?
That's what I'm saying, is that the
No.
software isn't the one dictating that. It's KVHD process
Okay,
that is.
so what you're putting into it. Okay, well, that's not user friendly. And what you stand lose is a lot greater than what you're gaining.
Hey, you know what? We can change that policy. That's under our purview.
And thank you. I wasn't really complaining, but it's not a good system.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you mentioned staffing, you're talking about cutting.
No, we're talking about the duties that all of the staff members have. So we have, you know, for one example is when we have patients come in on the first of the month, we have a staff member that comes in at 3:00 in the morning to start doing eligibility verifications, preparing patients for that day. And we're hoping that would change. You know, it's really difficult to do that. We're really down on staffing right now. It's not gonna reduce, you know, like, we aren't gonna be laying people off because of that. But.
Well,
you know,
I asked because when you said, you know, there's a lot of duplication going on, that's why I was just kind of curious.
Sure. When patient comes in, they're loaded into the EMD so they can clinically be seen. When we do the billing, all of the same information goes in there, but there's different things like the girls need to know that this system is CPSI is all in capitals. You know, you have to do it like that. There's a lot of little things, nuances that would hopefully be reduced, but, as a staff, we're cautious, we're scared. We don't want to do something that's a step backwards, but we understand that there's going to be some point where we have some more fluid flow throughout the hospital. It's really hard for the coders to code information because they're going into two systems also. So that's where all the duplication comes in.
Okay.
There's a lot of that.
Well, I'm glad you're looking at it. Let us know. Let us know what your findings are. And with that, I'll make the motion to receive and file.
Okay.
This
I'll
guy
come back to your report in a second. The motion by Director Elliott to. Is there
I
a
have one
second?
more question.
We'll do a second and we'll have you do the second. Is there
A
a
second.
second by Director Parks? Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
Just roughly, what would the savings be if we did go ahead and switch over and we would saving the money?
I looked at it maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I don't remember exactly what the cost was. I would roughly guess, and you can't quote me on this,
Yeah.
$400 to $500 a month, maybe.
Okay, that's not enough to be.
That's just on the
serious.
software.
Yeah.
That's not all the
The other,
efficiencies.
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be kind of discovered. I mean, like Rick's saying, there's a lot of duplicative like work that's happening. So, that'll be savings.
Right.
It's difficult to quantify the time saved until we really look at it and start getting into it. Then it's not going to be more expensive. It's going to be pretty close to a wash on what's going on there.
Right now, we're getting about a 10% discount, almost exactly. Is there another stage of discount? Is there? That's it. You can use my name.
Try that.
20% higher, please.
They actually tried to drop us, so.
Okay, thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. John, we'll
Okay.
turn it back over to you
We're
to.
continuing to do our wound care, but we're just doing Medicare patients because it's safe. We won't lose any money there. We have not got paid yet. The bills are going out, but it's going to take a couple of weeks probably. Once we get that, we're trying to find cheaper products for our managed Medi-Cal patients, but we're not finding it. It's not cheap enough for the medical. It's going to we'll lose money if we start doing managed Medi-Cal patients. We're not going to do that. It's a good service for our patients. So if we break even, we'll be happy. But yeah, that's not as good as it can be. They kind of sold us on different things like they do other hospitals, and it's not true.
Okay.
You got to pay back.
Glad you looked at it.
Yeah. It's a good product. I mean, it's great for the patient.
We talked about exploring it before we do it.
Right, we'll go slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, denials, we're still continuing that project. We are trying to to change the whole process on denials. We're not really using the system right now. We're gonna try to use the system for denial. So it's easier to run reports and figure out where you are. Also, we're trying to get the denials done before year end because in the reconciliation process for IGT, the denials are taken out. So that's where our difference is. We were giving them all claims that we sent out, but they're only want to pay us on IGT on claims that were not denied, that were accepted. So we're working on that. The cost report has been finished. Kind of tentatively, we didn't get information on our bad debts from Kern Health till very late in the process. So those are bad debts on Medicare or you get dollar for dollar on those. So it's very important that we get those right. We are also going to go back to 22, 23, 24, reopen those cost reports because we got better bad debt information there. So we're going to open those and get one more right now. So right now we've got a receivable of about 262,000. I anticipate that going up maybe another 10, 20%. But then I think we're going to get a little bit more on the 22, 23, and 24 because of the bad debts.
Cool.
It's worth opening and worth a try to get a little bit more money there. I'm still waiting for the low volume. I sent a letter, like I said last time, I think, for low volume, you get an extra compensation for that reimbursement. I haven't heard back from CMS yet, but that should be a little extra too. We got audits going on right now. Medi-Cal audit, Medicare audit, and our normal JWT audit. Amy's doing a great job on getting all the stuff. Our Medicare audit is almost done. Our Medi-Cal audit, we're just waiting to hear a report from them. There's not going to be a up and down any money going back on either one, I don't believe. Medicare, we actually have a receivable they gave us from something else they did, and we're just waiting to see if they take it back or not. We haven't spent it yet, which our consultant advised us just hold on to it for now and see what happens, but they may take back some of it, but it was an extra money from another audit that they did. We're having a problem with Anthem right now. We're working on it. our employees have Anthem Blue Cross for their insurance, health insurance. And they're saying that we can't go to Mesa to get our prescriptions right now. Yeah, so we are working on that. We need to solve this before the end of the year because January 1st is when this whole new process starts. But it was just kind of, they sent letters to all the employees saying, hey, you can't use Mesa anymore. So I'm not sure what
The way
happened.
they have to have a provider within a certain
They
area.
want us to go to Bakersfield.
No, they can't force you to drive that far.
Well, that's what I'm fighting about.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you should, I don't know if the other one counts.
Which one? Oh, sure it does. Yeah, but
Well,
we don't have.
well, if we're not dealing with
contract.
us, why would they deal with us?
Well, I think we dropped the ball somewhere. Is what I think.
There is a mileage area that you can use to,
Okay, that's
you
good.
can't
I
force
think it's
it.
just the preferred status, isn't it?
Yeah. Circumstance where we get a better, lower copay.
Right, we get preferred if they don't
Right.
have another one available within a
Right.
certain much.
That's what we need to get back
Now,
to.
the question is, how do we find out where it is that we drop the ball?
Well, that's something to figure it out. I'll report back next time.
Okay.
Greg and Miranda found us a doctor in the clinic. So we're having some contractual negotiations right now, whether or not he's an employee or a contract employee. He's got a corporation apparently. Is that what it is, Greg?
Yes, so that's on the agenda for.
Oh, it is?
We have the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
talk about it at that time.
Yeah.
Kind
Right.
of,
Good to go. All right. That's about it for my report, I think.
Any questions for John with relation to the seating?
that's all there is.
I'm sure there's more.
There's more. I can't talk about everything. Gotta save something for next month.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.
Any other questions for John?
From me, sir.
Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't have any old business, so we'll move into the new business. So we didn't have a finance meeting last month, so we're gonna go over the finances for the unaudited financials for October of 2025. It's on pages 15 through 20.
How do you guys want it, Gene? I mean. But
I think everybody has run, everybody got a copy, so
okay,
we don't need
Yes,
to go
sir.
through them. We'll just-
Anything?
I'll since you've got some questions, so.
I did.
Questions or-
Okay.
I did. This doesn't look like it was a good month. Our year-to-date operating expenses are $789,000 above budget.
Right,
That's it's almost 5%.
5%.
But is that seems like a whole lot,
It
like
is.
really out of whack.
Most of it is in the two areas, as you see, is in the supplies, which is mostly related to the pharmacy. But we're starting to realize some of the 340B savings, so that gap is getting smaller.
Okay,
So, and then the other parts are the salaries and wages. We gave raises to people. We also have some people who are still on the payroll that we're paying. And I think the budget was a little bit off of that. Yeah.
Was what we paid Tim to get out on that.
It's still, it's every month, just like payroll,
yeah,
Oh, it is? For how long?
a year.
well, that explains it.
Yeah,
Thank
that's,
you.
that's most of it. And then the benefits.
Can you blame any of the supplies on tariffs?
Thanks. I don't think so.
All right.
Not yet. We're maybe getting savings there. Let's see. But everything else, I mean, we're doing pretty well on the other expenses, I think. It's just, I mean, of course, salaries and wages are a big expense. So when you have a variance there, it really blows over.
And that wasn't budgeted, so I get it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. One other thing, we paid in November, we paid 5.4 million for an IGT. We should be receiving that in the middle of January, probably 10, 11, hopefully 12, but we're not sure exactly how much we're gonna get, but that's why you'll see a cash went way down next month.
Is that from the state or from Kern Health?
Kern Health, well, Kern Health and Anthem.
That was a big check.
Oh, you are kidding. Yeah. Okay, any other questions on the financials?
This is an action item, so we need to do a motion in a second.
I'll motion.
By Director Clark, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public comment.
Is there any public comment? They're all staff, but I guess they are public.
Or online.
More ones. Going once, going twice, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 13-month patient statistics for the same month of October. That's on pages 26 and 27 of the packet.
I thought I turned that off.
Oh, it's- Any questions on this, patient stats for 13 months? Really tells a pretty good picture. If you look at the FTEs, we've gained 12 FTEs in the last 13 months. But about 5 or 6 of those are at the retail pharmacy. We're looking at the creep right now. We're trying to figure out which departments and why. Because our volume is up that much to warrant extra FTEs really. So we're looking at that. We have a managers meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to stress that managers need to become working managers, not just manage. We don't have the luxury of having admin days anymore. We need to be working, and it's not going to probably go over very well, but we have to start making changes now before these cuts come. Because if we wait for the cuts to come, it's going to be too late. Great. So that's going to be tomorrow. Any other questions on this?
I did.
No.
I didn't have any. And again, this is also an action item, so is there a motion as presented? I'll actually do public comment first. Is there any input from the public? Any other questions? Okay, now we can do a motion.
Motion is presented.
Okay, motion by Director Clark. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director Elconin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passed. Item 3 is on page 28. This is the financial report narrative summary, same month, October.
That's the one I just had a question on. I don't have any other questions.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
It's motion by Director Elliott. Is there a second? By Director Clark. Any input from the public or staff? Other questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item is number 4. This is the contract review. This is on page 29.
I got a question on one thing.
Yes, Director Parks, go ahead.
Let's see, I don't know who that is. Teleconnect therapies. We were paying
That is,
$138 an hour.
that's consulting for mental health.
But yeah. How do we bill for that? We're paying $130. How do we bill for it? How do
We do the billing for them. We do the billing. We bill it and we get paid and then we pay them.
Okay, so for every hour, we get a certain amount of money, then we pay them.
And we're trying to kind of wean them down a little bit because they're so expensive, but we can't find anybody else to
But
do
if
it.
we
That's
get-
the problem.
But if they talk to 10 people an hour,
They don't though.
how many do they talk to?
One. Or
No
two.
way.
Yeah, 1 or 2. Is that correct, Lisa? Yep.
Okay.
And we're getting paid $110 an hour for it. It's a pretty good deal.
Get a phone call, you know. No, we get paid a little bit more than that, but we don't, if we had our own person doing that, we'd be making it a lot better. It's just difficult to find that. I mean, there's a shortage everywhere with mental health providers.
Okay, thank you.
Any other,
My only question.
are there any other questions on contract review? And these are just contracts for review, right? They're not for approval.
Correct. These are existing contracts. Should the district's compliance not a program that was brought back to the board, their anniversary date for you to be aware of them.
Can I make a request? Can I see a copy of Dr. Chris Hall's contract? You can send it to me offline or via email. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is there anything else that needs to be?
I'll motion.
Okay, to accept. Motion by Director Clark. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director Parks. All in favor? I'm sorry. public comment, any member from the public or the hospital staff that has any comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You'd think after doing this for a while, Scott, I would know. This isn't my first rodeo too. Item 5 is the security systems proposal. This is on page 30. Bob, will turn it over to you.
Yeah, so, obviously in moving the retail pharmacy January, whenever, we would need to have security system installed there. Now, we've had 2 break-ins and human resources. Luckily, we only lost a few $100s worth of stuff each time. And also there's a concern about the other suites that had been built. So John and I discussed, let's get a proposal to do all 5 suites down there, obviously 2 of them being pharmacy, and also the HR building. So we approached 4 companies. The company that currently does the retail pharmacy is ADT. So obviously, if you can see on page 30, they're by far the least expensive on the cost of installation. I do want to say I'm relatively unimpressed with their company. When we've had some break-ins, they called like Suda while she was at home in Sacramento. Sheriffs never showed up until we called them. Not real impressed. Also, when we called and asked for a representative from the company to come out and give us a proposal, the young guy shows up in a van and says, "I'm here to install your system." And I said, "What's that?" "Well, a front door sensor and a back door sensor and, and a couple window sensors." And I said, "That's not what we asked for. We asked for someone to evaluate and give us a written proposal." Well, he couldn't give me a written proposal. He did it on his phone. And then I had to have him write it from his phone on a piece of paper. So not a very impressive company, but they are the least expensive. We're also talking monitoring of all of our drugs, right, at retail pharmacy. So we approached 3 companies out of Bakersfield. I've used Teltec extensively in the past, though not that impressed with them particularly, and they were the most expensive. The least expensive of the 3 is Alpha Technologies. They were very responsive and have adjusted their, so we're trying to make sure apples to apples and everything. And we had panic buttons and all those sorts of things in the pharmacy. And so, anyway, so very responsive company. Now, one thing I will say is their price installed for the admin building and HR is a total of $8,860. That is approximately, about $2,000 below the next bid, which is Secure Systems. But what the line you got to look at is monthly monitoring. Now, Alpha Technologies, they wanted a head-end box for each suite. And they charge a monitoring cost for each suite.
For keypad.
Whereas Secure Systems will put in one device that is programmable for all the suites so that when accounting comes in and they deactivate, all the rest of them stay active or vice versa. And so it's a very complex, very good system. They're a little over $2,000 higher. But what you got to look at is the monthly monitoring cost because they're only monitoring one box for that whole building. So it's $40 monitoring versus 48 4 times.
Does
So-
AT do the same thing? Do they have?
But
one
it's
box?
listed, no. ADT said that their system wouldn't do the whole building,
Okay,
but they could do a couple of the suites and then a couple of the suites. So they're monitoring, their total monthly monitoring cost is $105.
okay. But Bob, if they don't have anybody here, they're worthless, all of them.
Now, we did check with the companies in Bakersfield and they are their own monitoring company. So they hire 24/7 people to watch the monitors, call the sheriffs, et cetera.
Right. They have been companies that have come up here that would have someone here all the time. They tried to establish it but they couldn't get enough activity to have somebody here.
Yes.
So who could we have that they could call that's here, that could respond?
Well, again, with all of these companies, you set up your call out. So it can call the manager of the department, it can call me, it can call the security phone of the security officer on duty. Anything
Who do
we
we
want.
have calling now?
Well, right now, I don't know who Suda has the call for the pharmacy.
Well, they called her in Sacramento. So
Yeah, it didn't do us a whole lot of good.
But we should manage that better.
Yeah, it's not mine to manage, but
I know,
yes.
I know.
But I agree with you completely. It's not worked well. I'm not saying ADT can't do the job. I'm just trying to give you the pros and cons of
Right.
what I see in these bids. So let's just say we don't do ADT and we go with either Secure Systems or Alpha Technologies. Secure Systems is $11,157 installation, but their monitoring costs for both that building and that building is only $80 a month. So in 20 and a half months, the difference in cost just in monitoring over what Alpha Technologies would be, which is a lower bid at $88.60 per month. But their monitoring costs are $192 a month instead of $80 a month. So
The only reason their install cost is so high is they're a hardwire system.
yes, a lot of these other systems they're hardwired.
No, the other systems are
ADT is
wired.
all battery operated.
Yeah, the other systems are wireless systems.
Yes, wireless is less expensive to install and ADT is 100% wireless.
That's correct.
And so these other systems are wired. They say we like the wired systems, what they told me, because they are more fail-safe.
Who's in charge of the system? And you said you're not in charge of it.
But not for the pharmacy. Because I'm not allowed to know the code or anything. It's not under my jurisdiction. That has always been under the jurisdiction of the manager of the pharmacy. And it's been ADT for years. I'm not saying they're totally incompetent. They're not as impressive as the other companies. But they'll put a system into both buildings for $4,359 and their monitoring costs are $105.98. So it would take 21 years to make the difference in monitoring costs to say go with Secure Systems at 11,000. So that's not really a sale but I believe you're getting a better system. Well, and yeah, he didn't, I'm sure that they could give us some panic buttons, but he was quoting us the bare minimum. 2 break glass sensors, front and back door and done.
Would we change ADT? Who do we have here?
We don't have anybody on this
Across
campus.
the street?
Nothing. We have no alarm system.
Nobody else?
No.
Okay.
So Bob, question, can I? So if we stuck with ADT and paid more attention to their call path, who they're actually calling, is it feasible to include, the first call to the house supervisor and whoever in maintenance that
Absolutely.
can run over there?
Yes.
Or security that
Right,
we have?
yes, or the security phone. We can set up any call sequence we want to, and ADT would follow that. They're supposed to immediately, of course, notify the sheriff's department, 911.
They may or may not. We can't, yeah.
And that's
The ADT, that is not the case. They will follow the call list.
yes,
If you instruct them to call 1, 2, and 3 before you call the sheriff, they will do as such.
right. No, I agree. All of these companies will set up the call list however you want it to be.
That's correct.
They will religiously follow it.
Correct.
I'm just letting you know, I wasn't real impressed with ADT. I haven't been impressed with the system that we have, but it's a substantial difference in money.
Right.
So I'm not here saying I want to go with company B or C.
They're
I'm
sort
trying,
of the standard too, aren't they? Sort of.
well, they're a huge company. They're nationwide.
Nation.
So what do we need from a security system? We need somebody to tell us there's a breach, there's possibly somebody in there and alert your list.
Yeah.
They all do that, and the prices so vary. Why not go with the cheapest?
Can I make a motion?
So let me say this, it's not Public Works, it doesn't exceed the bidding thresholds. So this is a decision the district makes, selecting the provider who is in the best interest of the district.
Thanks, Scott.
Again, I'm not opposed to what you're saying, that, well, why don't we just go with the least expensive because they're the least expensive? It's 100%, every device, every door, every window, every break glass, whatever is battery operated. So you do have to maintain the batteries.
Okay.
Per year life, yeah,
Yeah.
it's average.
And so he wasn't even knowledgeable enough. I don't even know if, do we have to do that? Because, he doesn't say, well, we
Yeah.
take care of all.
They obviously blew that part of it.
They blew the part of it that the sales pitch.
Yeah.
Out of the two companies, I was most impressed with the people who came out and walked the jobs was Secure Systems and Alpha Technologies. They really know their business. Not saying ADT can't do it. Yes.
Are we gonna have our own video surveillance, or is this something added into theirs as well?
Well, we've been talking recently about maybe needing more cameras in places, and I know Carrie's challenged with how many cameras we already have and the amount of memory it takes to add cameras. But yes, obviously, we would be adding at least some cameras related to the pharmacy.
100%. And we already do have cameras in pharmacies. Like, move over.
Yeah, those would move over and
Bigger space.
and we could add, yes.
I'm capped out. We just want to be cognizant, not adding too much just because something happened in one corner one time, we don't need to monitor that corner the whole time.
Referring to that, just wanted to make sure that we're gonna do it.
People think it's wonderful to have a huge amount of cameras, but a huge amount of cameras require a phenomenal amount of memory backup and all of that for the length of time that you want to
And
maintain.
they're
I agree with that.
fairly invaluable for what they provide realistically.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
It's not preventing anything. Right.
No, but when you have something up close and personal, it's really nice to
Yeah,
have.
I agree with you, but I can't tell you how many times I've had the sheriffs or the city police or whatever, and we hand them a photo of the person reaching up and breaking the camera off of the mountain, stealing it, and it's like, well, it wasn't $3,000 worth, so we're not gonna do anything. That's the state of California. Unless it exceeds X amount of thousands of dollars, they won't even write a report. But you got a great picture of them.
And when it comes back to the whole behavioral health aspect of it, which Lisa knows a lot about. And that people breaking into the pharmacy, stealing drugs, and it's behavioral, and it just is a never ending cycle because nothing ever gets done. So.
And I've come up with some ways, I think, of making it relatively secure.
Yes.
Discussing those with John this morning, that's going to make it much more difficult for them. Even if we don't go with the roll down shutters and stuff that we've talked about doing in the future. Thanks, Gary. Anyway, I'm a little up in the air on this. I'm really asking for input because, yeah, I mean, I'd like to say, let's save some money. Let's go with ADT. By the time we add a couple panic buttons, I couldn't even get a hold of them again. So as far as like, well, if I want to add panic buttons or if I want to change the brake glasses, the motion sensors, it's going to change the price a little bit, but it's not going to change it a whole lot. The other companies that call and say, we want to add this, they email us back right now. So you're dealing with a person who is selling their company and what their company does. With ADT, it was a kid who comes out and installs the system. Yeah, that's who they sent out.
So Director Parks is making a motion to approve ADT. Is there a second?
I mean, are we evaluating the areas that it's monitoring, the effectiveness and all of that? I mean, there's several different systems, and the way I kind of think of it as it's as good as who it's going to call. ADT is not going to respond to this. They're going to call the sheriff. So they're all
They're gonna
calling
call
the sheriff.
they're all gonna call.
Well, yeah.
There's a call out tree. And
They're
that's
calling
what
out
they-
the security
that's
here.
what they call.
To me, that's the thing I'm curious about the most. It's like, okay, if I break a window, is every system recognizing that broken window the same?
Right.
They should, Bob, they should call our security here.
And
That's for us.
That part of it matters.
ADT recommended brake glass. Other company says, no, we don't recommend brake glass because other things, glass breaks with different sounds and sometimes it doesn't always trigger a brake glass. They want to put motion sensors in the lobby.
It's not,
Because motion
it's not
sensors, you
their
can't.
first rodeo. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
Now, they might be cheap. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I'm talking the less cheap companies wanted to do motion sensors. I'm not saying ADT won't do motion sensors, but I would have to get that kid to come back out again and explain exactly, okay, we want motion sensors, not brake glass and whatever. And it's not going to change the price a whole lot.
Sensors, 40 to $50 a piece.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
The monitoring remains the same.
Yeah, and their monitoring prices are, the cheapest one was Secure Systems at $80 a month, and they were $105.98. And another company's $180 and another company's $192. So that's your monitoring cost per month for both buildings.
It could get to the point we're changing up here. A lot of people from Bakersfield coming to where we have to put it on other buildings.
What?
Have to put it on other buildings.
Well, yes, and obviously whoever we choose, if we start adding it to buildings, we would use the same.
That's right, we want you to say once, the standard seems to
Two
be,
different companies.
the standard seems to be that ADT. You know, and if we can't work right, I can't imagine why we couldn't work with them. When, you know, they call whoever we tell them to call, that's our problem.
And
Still a motion on the table from Director Parks to go with ADT. Is there?
Well, I'll second that motion on the thought that, you know, we've got impending cost cuts coming at us. If we're not looking at all the nickels and dimes that we can, I think we're going to be hurting ourselves in the long run. And the fact of the matter is, all they're doing for us, any of these companies are doing for us, they're not sending anybody, they're just detecting whether there's a breach and calling people. So I just assume go with that. That's why I'm seconding that motion.
Thank you.
yeah,
I agree. Exactly what I was thinking.
not opposed to that. What I'm only saying is the professionality of the people sent up was huge.
Shameful. It absolutely sounds like it's shameful. Yeah.
But will their system work? Sure,
But up here, when nobody responds, they respond to who we tell them to.
absolutely.
So we have to handle it.
Yes,
It's our job.
that's a real easy list to make.
I'm gonna put your number on.
No, I'm
Call
close
Chief
enough, they're good,
Smarts.
but I don't know what I do when I got there.
No,
Taser notice.
I can loan you my stun gun.
Is there any other discussion or input from the public or staff? Okay, all in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Okay.
Is the clinic have a monitoring system?
No.
No? Okay. Interesting.
We have not had a break in there. We have had a break in the building next door,
Okay.
and they took nothing. They just broke the door.
Nothing to take. At least
A couple of computers. You know, the interesting thing is they never take the computers.
Huh.
They've broken into HR twice and they don't touch the computers. They took a camera, 2 cameras this last time, and a couple minor things. They took a food basket out of the manager's office.
Dang.
Yeah, you know, I mean, all the computers were laying there. There was checks sitting on the counter and they left them. Odd.
John, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I have to leave before I get to be agreeing too much with Rob.
Hit the right topic. We'll fix that.
I have some suggestions.
Okay, we're gonna move to item 6 on the agenda. This is,
Have a vote. You had a motion in a second.
we had a vote.
Everybody do it.
I missed it.
You're sleeping.
I guess. I was listening to Gene.
We're gonna move to item 6. This is resolution 2511. This is a district surplus, authorizing the disposition of the property. This is on page 31 to 34. It looks like this is all old IT equipment that we need to get rid of.
Can I ask a question, Kerry?
Yes, go ahead. Director Park.
Do they have, some of this stuff is worth something. Somebody out there wants some of this stuff. but how can they find it? Is there a place we can list this stuff where maybe they would buy it?
It's been an enormous amount of time putting all this on eBay or something,
Well,
or
Is there
something equivalent to that. I don't foresee that being a good use of the amount of time. it
Could
would
we
take.
use some volunteers to do that? I mean, we got people like auxiliary. Do we have a computer person that might spend some time doing it? Because some of that stuff's pretty valuable and if somebody just needs it,
Very valuable.
well, but to somebody it might be.
But I will say my wife works in the auxiliary and there's nobody in the auxiliary that can do that on a computer.
Okay.
So it would take somebody else and training them how to get on, create eBay, do all that stuff, take pictures, put it up there, ship it. Have customer service with the person who's asking technical questions about these things. A lot of this stuff is 10 plus years old. Very few of it, actually, I would say almost all of it is 10 plus years old.
But if it's, you know,
I
if
get,
you got something that's older, sometimes you want to hang on to it. And
I
if
think
it's
that
worth
might be
some-
true in some cases, not this one.
Okay, you know what you're doing. If you think it would not be worth it,
A lot of this stuff's been sitting on shelves since I started almost 10 years ago.
okay.
Trying to clean some of this stuff up, get it out of storage, all this
Then
stuff.
I make a motion, we approve it as presented, or,
I have a question.
oh, okay.
I'll go ahead.
John, I noticed in Nick's report for the auxiliary, they were looking for credit card machines. And we're getting rid of credit card machines. Are they not functional? Can they?
Oh, they're outdated.
Available.
We don't buy the credit card machines. We're getting them from whatever bank we use.
Yeah, I'll have to one, got a special one to give.
I
Think of like your
Okay.
old direct TV box that is in
Okay.
your garage.
All right.
Not only that.
Like 3 TiVo boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just like those ones that,
Those little ones won't do it.
Yeah, and you know,
Okay.
I understand the solitude, Gene.
The one thing I will say is there's some of the servers that we just took out. Again, those are over 10 years old too. I've reached out to high school, South Fork, and then Greg gave me a contact for Wallace, trying to see if there's, I mean, just donate them too, but so far nobody wants them, so.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, I don't know.
I'll second Gene's motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion or input from the public or staff?
John, that's the last time he can second me, but
It's been maxed out.
Okay, hearing on all those in favor of adopting resolution 25, okay. All opposed, resolution 2511 is adopted. Number 7 is approval of compensation for Dr. Orson Anderson. So this is the new doctor at the,
this contract's gonna change. This is the old contract, possibly change. This is for an employee and we're discussing whether he's gonna be, maybe not an employee, maybe a contractor.
independent
Then
contractor.
we'll have to bring that back to the next meeting probably, or finance.
Rate or?
No, it'll be the same rate. It just actually be cheaper for us, actually. We wouldn't have to, it's pension fund, we wouldn't have to.
Fund it.
Fund it, yeah.
how would he be paid per patient? How would that work? Would it be different?
He's not paid per patient.
Historically, when we've hired our physicians, we've hired them under independent contracts. Because we're a critical access hospital, we're allowed to hire a physician now as a W-2 employee. So the last 2 physician contracts we've done have been for W-2 employees. So that's what we're used to. Most doctors want that now. It used to be that they wanted to have their own corporation. Now they don't really want that. So this one is a little bit different because of the station that Dr. Anderson is at in his life. It might be advantageous for him to have a compensation package where we would be paid per patient. And under Medicare, we're allowed to guarantee his income, his salary for a 2-year period. So we would make it congruent with the agreement that you have in front of you.
As far as being a corporation, is professional liability, how would we cover that?
It's paid up.
Yeah, well, being a corporation, do they cover, how do they break it out? Have we done that?
Yeah, so with every physician you have ever had,
The corporation's not just a person,
so the physician is covered.
it's just the physicians covered under the corporation, nothing else.
under your payment policy as a provider.
Because normally they don't do so.
Data is always.
Okay, okay.
But since we're gonna change this contract, you want to table it until next month? Is that the recommendation without hearing or?
Or I just think, yeah, because, you know, we've found a few things that, you know, may not be advantageous for him and he may want to stick with the original agreement that we've offered him. If the board is okay with it, then we may want to just approve it. And then if he doesn't sign it, then we could come back with a pending.
So we should still study this one just in case for next month. Maybe,
No, so
No,
we're
that's-
going to
I need more
approve
time.
this one this month contingent upon him signing the contract, the employment agreement. And if he does not, then we'll come back with an independent contractor agreement.
Okay.
okay. I'm free to make a motion because right, Rose.
Okay, I'll make it this time. But I have a question first for Greg. This is great news. Great news. Good job. I'm very excited about this. Now, is his license clear? There's no probationary period. There's no arrest. There's, I don't know what kind of background, but we're not dealing with anything like that.
His license is clear.
Okay,
We're not gonna go through that again.
okay. So there's no compromises that we need to be aware of?
Well, let me just say that if we want to talk about that, let's go into closed session.
Okay. All right. Then I have an outstanding question about that, but,
So we can move this under the Brown Act into closed
We
session.
can.
As a
Okay, great.
discussion of
okay,
employee personnel appointment.
Then approve
But
it.
we should not discuss
okay,
qualifications or anything like that in open session.
all right. So we can automatically just move it to closed session.
Yeah, so it's not, we're not adding it to the agenda, but we are changing the category on the agenda. So let's have the board vote to approve to change this to a personnel appointment closed session item. And then we'll go into closed session and you can freely discuss it.
Great, thank you.
And then you can, whatever we do, you just bring it back up to the public after the meeting.
Okay,
Do as. Are we doing that now?
so I'll make that motion
So
to,
are you done discussing it and ready to move on to the next agenda item?
I am.
There is no more.
Yeah, so if so, then let's do it now.
Okay.
To add it to the closed session is personnel appointment.
Oh, under closed session, not, okay,
Yes.
okay.
I'll make that motion to make that change to our agenda.
Second. Moved by Director Elliott. It's been seconded by Director Clark. Any other discussion? Put from the public, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I assume we'll do that after the CEO performance evaluation or at any point in closed session? Or-
Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
Actually, if you want Greg to answer questions, we'll do it first.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, we'll do that one first before we go into the, okay. Okay.
There one more report.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're not
Oh, I
done with
thought that was.
Yeah. But so we still need a motion for the contract, right? Or are we doing that in closed session?
Yeah, depending on what the outcome is in closed session, we'll come
We'll
back
come back to
over the
this.
session.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Okay. So item 8 was pulled by Director Elliott. That was
I
the,
did the chief nursing officer report.
okay. Before it's all.
Mark, thank you. I have two questions. What is precipitous delivery? Do we do deliveries up here?
Only when they're necessary.
So if
So
they're,
precipitous delivery is just when the nursing or the physician do it,
it's happening, by God.
it's happening.
Okay.
That's what a precipitous delivery is.
Okay,
And so we need training in that, and I need to have a new baby warmer to be able to train on that. So that should be coming. We've ordered it. It's supposed to be out.
does that happen often?
I think we probably had 4 or 5 deliveries this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Terrific.
Not terrific, but not optimal.
Yeah, but the fact that we're training on that, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking care of that. The other question I had for you is our coverage of the ER for the Christmas holidays? Are we solid?
Yes, sir.
We didn't, we haven't done any incentive, we haven't changed anything, but we're golden.
Yeah, we're good with coverage right now. We've actually taken some of the advertisements for nursing staff off of the we need nurses.
Oh,
Yeah, so
great.
we're pretty good right now. The iron talks
Okay.
about deciding whether we're going to cover a third license in there. We don't really have the volume for that at this point, but we're still talking about that.
Okay,
That would be to cover lunches. That's the only reason we would have somebody.
okay.
The way the shifts are right now, you can't cover the nighttime lunches.
Mark, question, on delivery thing, they have to be under a certain age.
-1.
The boards are pretty,
Well, the age up here is
pretty young,
Thank you, Mark.
certainly.
Then I'll make a motion to receive and file the chief nursing officer report.
So, a motion by Director Elliott, second by Director Clark. Any other discussion or input from the public? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Now we're going to go to director's comments on the agenda. We'll start with Director Elliott.
Nothing for this time. Happy holidays, everybody.
Okay. Director Clark, anything?
Not at all. Just enjoy the holidays. It's coming up. Take a breath because I'm sure we're going to need it for 26.
Okay, Director Parks.
The board seems to be in harmony. Everything seems to be going great. Our new CEO and CFO, no, I can't say that. CEO is doing great. Everything seems.
Nice knowing you, John.
Director O'Connor, anything?
No, just have a Merry Christmas, and I can't believe the end of the year is already here.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
You, I'm gonna hold on for a while.
Hang on to it. Yeah.
Okay, I just had,
Until you get your new car.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just making a snide remark over here. Okay.
Just had a couple of comments. First of all, I want to say, Director Parks, I'm glad you're okay from your automobile accident.
Thank
Yeah. Sorry about your brand new Lexus, but you got a new one and it's the same color and all that, so it's like nothing ever happened.
Exactly the same. I'm picking it up at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Two other things. I noticed the website, like on the leadership is still kind of outdated. Can we get that changed? John's still listed as the CFO and Tim is still the CEO if we need to, just for the public.
Good.
I did have a concern from a constituency about the pharmacy, not a big deal, but it was a situation where I think it was back in October. He said he went in there and there was a little bit of a line, but there was only one person working and the other staff were all on their lunch break. And I guess whoever was, I don't know who the employee was, but she was kind of panicking and was asking for help and the other staff wouldn't help and she was inundated. And I guess this constituent who told this to me was just he felt very sorry for her, that she was dealing with angry customers and the staff was not helping. So I just didn't know if we were still doing the stagnated lunch hours or.
We're staying open for lunch then.
Okay.
And that's sometimes, they all come at once. You could have nobody for a while, and then everybody comes all at once, it seems like, but
Okay.
I will talk to Sue about that.
Okay. Just wanted to bring it
Just
to
to
you.
make sure that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take them off lunch, so once they're on lunch, they're
Understood. Yeah.
otherwise gotta start all over.
Yeah. I'm just saying if there was like a,
Well, we need to figure out some type of plan in case it gets real busy like that.
yeah.
You're gonna have to have a new plan for the first anyway,
Right, it's
or
gonna be different.
15.
It's gonna be different, 15th, yeah.
The other thing, last month, we kind of briefly talked a little bit about maybe doing like a community needs assessment for the hospital, maybe doing like a special board meeting, because we don't have a lot of the public that comes to these meetings anymore. I don't know what the rest of the board maybe felt about doing that down the road, some kind of like open.
We could use the one from Kern Health as kind of a starting point at least. I know, Ross, would you look at it pretty in detail?
Yeah, that identified the services that people are leaving the valley for.
Right. And some
And
of that-
that data is good.
Right.
It's valid. Those are needs that apparently people are going other places for that we're not meeting could.
Yes.
Some of the stuff we'll never be able to meet, but a lot of that, we need to think about how we can meet that and those dollars up here.
Yeah.
Keep those patients up here.
Yeah. I just know and I'm sure the other 4 board members feel the same way, being an elected official on this board, you want to hear what the public wants, what they would like to see at the hospital, even if we can't do everything that they want on their wish list, but trying to keep that volume here from going
I
to,
would like to hear that too.
yeah.
I would. I think there might be real value in that.
Yeah.
To do a real community needs assessment, it's gonna cost us probably $50,000-$60,000.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the board meeting with the public and the
Oh, I
public's telling us, what do you want?
Yeah.
I wanted to just make reference to that community needs assessment. We actually did do one in, I think it was 2017. We actually worked with Dixie King. We did a full community needs assessment. It was a 5-year community needs assessment that was very detailed and met with community members, had work meetings in the community all around the lake.
That's right. I had just gotten on the board. I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
And it went through 2022 and it gives a very detailed what the community is wanting, what they need, and how the hospital was going to address that.
Yeah.
Did that ever come to the board?
Probably did in 2017. We probably need to pull that off the shelf. Heidi, can you find that?
That's a good idea.
Can we see it?
Yeah. They'll be like almost 10 years. So not a bad idea. I mean, just something to think about.
Start.
Yeah.
Got a perfect venue.
Okay. And, so that was my only comment about that, but it
It's
just,
a good idea.
yeah. And of course, wanted to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And, with that, I guess we'll move into closed session now at 3:17. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So you're supposed to just.
But a few times before I was on the board, we used to do like a summit. To do like a summit or something.
Thanks, Bob.
Way you can, yeah. Well.
Okay, and we'll